think it's not surprising that it's human to human. We know of other coronaviruses that spread from one person to another, such as MERS and SARS previously. It just means that we have to address this in a different way from a public health perspective in terms of containing human cases of the disease. But we also need to understand more about the disease, so we need to understand how it's transmitting from human to human and also what the incidence of that is. So how many new cases are occurring from one.
The reservoir of the new Chinese coronavirus SARS-CoV-2 is an animal, and as in the case of SARS, active between 2002 and 2003, that animal is thought to be a bat. The virus is thought to have passed to a different animal, an intermediate host, perhaps a pangolin. The coronavirus was able to adapt and mutate and be transmitted to humans. Symptoms are fever and signs of respiratory infections like coughing, chest pain, as well as breathing difficulties, and in rare cases, diarrhea and vomiting. Experts have decided on a quarantine period of 14 days, but the exact duration of the incubation period is unknown. It could last up to 24 days. There's no vaccine or antiviral treatment against the epidemic caused by the coronavirus, which can be deadly.
Yet more measures to curb the spread of the coronavirus outbreak. Everyone entering the Beijing subway system is checked for symptoms, and subway cars are disinfected every hour. Still concerned about infection, some head out anyway.
I'm really afraid that the virus might infect me or my family members. I'm supposed to go back to work in a few days, and my son will go back to school soon.
I need to go to work. I have no other choice. If I didn't need to work, I will definitely stay at home. Keep wearing the mask and keep washing the hands.
This is one of several long-distance bus stations here in the capital, Beijing. They are all closed now. That's because the government is concerned because the bus system is less regulated than high-speed rail and the airlines. So they're concerned that they can't track people or where they traveled from. But it's not just in the capital. Other cities have begun to restrict long-distance transportation. Shandong province will suspend all inter-city and interprovincial buses. Some neighborhoods on the outskirts of Beijing are sealed off because of suspected coronavirus infection. All wildlife trade is now banned across China. The coronavirus was traced to a seafood market in Wuhan that was illegally selling wildlife.
养殖、贩卖
We have taken preventative control measures in Wuhan as our top priority, and we have set up a frontline working group to guide the local authorities in relevant efforts. We have closed relevant markets in speedy manners to tighten control of illegal breeding, transportation, trading, and consumption of wildlife or wild animals.
While the central government has elevated the control over the virus to the highest level, there's a growing call for the local government in Wuhan.
China's Hubei province, the epicenter of the novel coronavirus outbreak, has reported 630 new confirmed cases and 90 additional deaths as of Saturday. That brings the total number of confirmed cases in the province to more than 64,000 and the death toll to at least 2,346. The World Health Organization says over 78,000 people are infected with the novel coronavirus, with at least 17 deaths outside of mainland China. Italy saw a sudden spike in infections, surging to nearly 80 cases, concentrated in a cluster of northern towns. 2 people were reported dead on Saturday. Health authorities in Iran the same day also reported a 6th death out of the 28 people who are confirmed to be infected. Also, a Japanese woman was found to be infected after she left the coronavirus-hit Diamond Princess cruise ship.
Over in China, the death toll from the virus rises while the disease continues to spread across the world. A whistleblowing Chinese doctor who was among the first to identify the deadly new coronavirus died of the disease in Wuhan earlier this morning. Park Hee-jun brings us the updates.
The death toll in China from the novel coronavirus has hit 636, with the total number of confirmed cases standing at more than 31,000. China's National Health Commission revealed the latest figures early Friday, with 73 deaths and more than 3,000 additional cases occurring in a single day. But around 1,500 patients were discharged from hospital. In Hubei province alone, there have been 618 deaths and over 22,000 confirmed cases. That's an increase of 69 deaths and 2,400 cases in one day. Among those who died from the illness is Li Wenliang, one of the first doctors to have warned people about the coronavirus. The 34-year-old had informed the public through WeChat back in December of a SARS-like disease, but he was targeted by the police for making false comments. The nation met the news of his death with grief and anger, demanding the government to apologize for downplaying the seriousness of the virus. The news also sparked the issue of freedom of speech in China. In response, China announced it will send an anti-corruption team to probe issues regarding Li. With no signs of the outbreak slowing down, China has enforced lockdowns and similar measures in 14 more provinces and cities outside of Hubei province. The cities affected include Hangzhou, Liaoning, and Nanjing. Figures continue to rise in other parts of the world as well. The virus has killed 2 people outside the Chinese mainland, one in Hong Kong and one in the Philippines. Over 30 cases have been detected in Europe, Germany having the most with 13 patients. Overall, Japan